Now, let's take a look at something that we all use on a daily basis, something that certainly has become part and parcel with our daily lives, and that, of course, is internet banking. Internet users are contributing to banking and financial fraud by falling victims to cyber scams that are designed to steal cash, and this is according to a cybersecurity expert. The expert says the problem is not that the cyber criminals are stealing our information, but rather that we are actually giving it to them. According to the South African Bank Risk Information Centre, that's Sabric, debit card fraud increased 8.3% in the year that ended 2015. So this morning we're looking at why banking fraud is around, and to help us unpack this, we are joined from Australia via Skype by Tjaart van der Walt, and he is with TruTech Group. Tjaart, good to have you, Tjaart. Thank you very much for joining us here on the program.
Thank you, and good morning.
Elaborate a little bit further on TruTech's statement that banking fraud is here to stay.
Well, we have to look at where the fraud is coming from and how it's being committed. Banks use a system called two-factor authentication to safeguard their transactions. So one part of the transaction is where you request it, and then that goes via one path, and then via another path, this transaction is authorized or approved by you. So this is supposed to be safer. Now, the problem is the phishing emails are becoming more sophisticated. We get something called spear phishing now, where your personal details are added into the email. It looks real. People click on those links and they get the malware on their laptops.
Yeah.
So that's the one side of it. There are basically two places where we are compromised. The one is with our devices, such as our computers or phones, and the other one is via the path.
I mean, we're educated so much about the fact that we shouldn't reply to emails with our details, we shouldn't click on these links, and yet people still do it. It seems like the message is not getting out there, even though it is there on a daily basis. Everybody tells you and warns you, do not do this, do not reply to these strange emails about millions and hundreds of thousands of pounds that need to be deposited into your account, and also filling in these scams. I mean, why do people fall for this all the time?
Well, I can't say. What I can say is that the email phishing is just one part of it. Something that is of a much bigger concern to us at the moment is the smartphone malware.
Yeah. So
on your smartphone, how many free apps do you have?
Personally, I have a lot, which are now beginning to worry me. So
exactly.
Talk to me about what I should look out for. What happens?
Well, if you're not paying for something, then you are the product. So a lot of those free applications will send back your, some information, maybe something not so important, but some of them might. And that's basically how the bad guys get into your phone.
Can you give us an example? I mean, for instance, an app that has been proven to give out information. I mean, I imagine because we're making sort of these comments, obviously they're out there, it's been founded that they've been doing. I mean, I've got many apps on my phone, whether they be photo editing apps or apps that are, you know, whether it be Twitter or Facebook or whatever, they're all on my phone. So what do they do?
Well, as a general rule of thumb, what I do with free apps is see how many times it's been downloaded.
Yeah.
And then Google it. If it's been downloaded, say, a few 100,000 times, and you Google it, and there's nothing, no bad reports, then it's okay. Otherwise, don't do it.
All right, so that's one thing. Is there spy software or things like that you can actually put onto your phone to protect the information that's on your phone? Because whether we like to believe it or not, our lives are our smartphones these days.
Yes. Yes, you definitely get anti-virus software for your phones. And some of the antivirus programs that you can put onto your computers automatically give you access to antivirus software to your phone.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one thing to do. Another step would be to find that old phone at the back of your kitchen drawer, that old dumb phone.
Yeah.
And put in a special SIM for that, use that for your OTPs.
I like that. You call it the dumb phone, but they're probably the cleverest phones of all because nobody can get that information off of them.
That's the smartest thing to do. The absolute worst thing you can do is to to use the same phone to do banking from and to get your OTPs, because the bad guys only have to compromise you once to be able to do their thing.
This is unbelievable because, I mean, you're talking to me, and as you're talking to me, I'm actually going cold because I don't know this information. I mean, and I do everything you said we shouldn't do, and that's a very worrying thing. How many people fall victim to this kind of cybercrime that we're seeing?
Oh, it's a lot. The thing is, we won't see a lot of it. It's not really in the interest of the industry to advertise it, but it's a lot. On SIM swaps, there are maybe in South Africa about 5,000 a month that are investigated.
Yeah.
Of that, a percentage, maybe 1%, will be suspect.
Yeah. When we look at, for instance, I mean, something that came out yesterday that I think, frightened quite a few of us is that Standard Bank had fallen prey to a scam in Japan. I think they were talking about 300 million rand worth of withdrawals that happened in Japan due to fake credit cards. Again, this is another issue, not necessarily related to our cell phones or to cybercrime.
Well, it's in a way it is related. I believe those cards were cloned, but if the banks implemented maybe a warning text or just something that alerts you if there's a bit of suspect activities, then that could have been prevented.
Yeah, because I mean that's a lot of money to have lost. But for instance, when you're doing internet banking, if we go back to mobile phone banking, you don't necessarily get one of these one-time PINs. You're allowed to do your banking on the phone without being sent a PIN, and that's I'm speaking just for the bank that I am with. Is this affected as well? I mean, I find that I do very little banking on a PC as opposed to what I do on my phone. Am I still at threat? Am I still under threat anyway?
Well, usually the bad guys would create a new beneficiary. So if you created a new beneficiary, you would definitely get a PIN.
Yes, that goes without say. So if we see any of this activity that's happening on our bank accounts, I mean, what do we do? Immediately contact your bank, because you should get notification from your bank that a beneficiary has been created.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
All right. So just on a closing note, I mean, give us that advice. What do we do? What are the safest ways to protect ourselves to not fall victim to this?
Well, the first thing, what I do is use a dumb phone for your OTPs. That's just the safest. If you don't want to do that, then at least for instance, a couple, the two people can have or can receive each other's OTPs, just so that it's not on the same device. The second thing is install antivirus software. And then the third is just demand the security from your bank.
Yeah, which by right, they should actually offer you this antivirus software for free. Is it something banks should be offering or can offer?
Well, it's not really just the antivirus software. The path from the bank to your phone is going through normal SMS. And there's a lot that can be done there to protect that path, but the thing is, it costs money.
Yeah.
So if you think what you're paying every month to insure things like your car, what are you willing to pay every month to be sure that your bank account is not wiped out, or somebody gets into your house bond, something like that?
Yeah. All right, let's leave it there. Tjaart van der Walt, thank you for talking to us. He's the managing director of the True Tech Group. He's been talking to us via Skype. He's in Australia at the moment, but a survey that's coming out saying that internet users are contributing to banking and financial fraud by falling victims to cyber scams designed to steal cash. And we're giving them information for free. They don't even have to hack it. We just give it to them. And that's something we need to keep in mind. So download your antivirus software as soon as possible.